Guys, Tony and Jill here, and boy did we have a crazy night last night. So we made it back into Ohio just in time for the record number of tornadoes in one night. We had a confirmed 20 tornadoes touch down last night. And here, let me tell you what, that's a scurry situation when you're in an RV. So that brings us to the point we want to try to share some tips that we practice here to maybe help you guys survive being in an RV during a tornado. Thankfully, we were not stuck in the path of these tornadoes, but it would have just shifted just a little bit. We would have been right there in that path. And let me tell you, it was a pretty nasty display that happened after I went to work today. We got to experience some of those things firsthand and seeing some of the destruction that these storms caused. Seen buildings here and houses here were just missed, and it just missed one RV park out towards Salina, Ohio. Then people got very lucky out there. Anyway, so like I said, back to that. We want to kind of touch base with you guys about being prepared for that when you're in an RV. Now, biggest thing on the list is when you're in a campground, you need to find out if they have a tornado shelter. If they do not have a tornado shelter, know where the bathrooms are, places with a less amount of windows and things that are swinging around sharp that could decapitate you or poke big holes in you. Those are the kind of places you want to find right off bat when you get into a place, especially in the tornado season or severe weather season. Know where those things are at. I wish some of the people in the row where we were camping would have practiced this as well, because when the sirens went off, they were confused and they had the whole road blocked up because they didn't know what to do or where to go, how to. They didn't have an exit strategy. Now, most RV parks and campgrounds, they will have a tornado shelter or some sort of shelter to kind of help you weather this kind of weather outside. Like I said, weather a lot of times there, but you know what I mean. The other thing is, you should always keep a bug out bag. And what I mean bug out bag is an emergency bag that's prepared with some things that you can need in an emergency, like first aid kit, extra batteries, a weather band radio, flashlight, some snacks, something to tie you over, any extra medicines or something like that that you may need on a daily basis that will sustain you for a few days till you can get to refill a prescription or something to that nature. Keep plenty of water in there, a change of clothes.
I would even do a blanket, and if you could get one of those emergency blankets that fold up real small, that would probably work.
But she's talking about a big blanket for her. Yeah. That's what she likes. But yeah, have an emergency blanket, things like that. Also, if you can do, it might be a wise idea, which we've been thinking about this, is keeping a spare cell phone, even if it's a pay-as-you-go cell phone, that you can basically just shut off and just kind of check it, make sure the charge is good.
And if you don't know, a lot of people don't. If you have a cell phone that does not have a cell service on it, you just have one, you can make 911 calls out of them in emergency situations. So
correct.
If you do have a cell phone that doesn't have service on it, you will be able to use that. So if you have an extra one, maybe throw it in there.
Yeah. So that's a good idea right there, to keep these things on hand. And if you know severe weather's in the area and it possibly could create these kind of storms, we pack a little small cooler with extra drinks and stuff like that for those who might not be as thoughtful to have had these things to bring with them, just to kind of help our fellow man. So it's a good idea to keep things like that in a place very convenient to the door. Like in our RV, we also have a spare flashlight that actually mounts down at the bottom at the stairwell going out of our RV. Battery's not that great on it, but it'll last for a little while. Now, a lot of RVs actually have those built in, which ours does. Probably should think about getting another battery for that as I'm thinking about it now. But have those things on hand. Think of an exit strategy. Have everything in place. Have a meeting place if you guys were to get separated from each other in this kind of weather. Things happen. It's chaos. It's crazy. And do not forget to take your fur babies. Right. We've come across some people who showed up and says, well, I wasn't sure if I could bring my fur baby. Well, here's the deal. They're a member of my family, and I'm taking them with me whether they like it or they don't.
If they allow them on the campground, then they're more than likely going to allow them inside.
Yeah. So take your animal with you. Sometimes, don't stay there all day to try and get your kitty cat to go with you, because more than likely, kitty cats are just kind of like their own, like, I'm not doing anything you want me to do kind of creature. Don't stay there trying to get them. They are a wild animal that's been domesticated, but they still have that yearning of survival instinct, and they will take care of themselves as best as they can. That's something that nobody wants to encounter, but at the same time, it's human life. You need to get where you need to go, especially if you have kids and stuff like that. It sucks that you be separated from your animal, but have that in place to where you're, like I said, practice this kind of thing. Practice your exit strategy and getting
Especially
in and
if you have
out.
kids.
Especially if you have kids, yes. Practicing on how you guys are going to get out of the RV and get it, work on it a few times, especially during these type of seasons when, extreme weather can just pop up out of nowhere. Be prepared. That's the number one way to survive being in a tornado situation, is to be prepared. I can't stress that enough. Be prepared.
If the warning, if you're in an area that has warnings, the sirens, don't just think that it's gonna pass you by. If you hear a siren, go. Don't question it.
Don't wait for the silence of the storm, because by then it's too late.
Right. Because there were people that waited.
Yes.
And I mean, it could have been deadly for them if something had happened here.
Yes, if the weather would have shifted just a little bit, it would have came through here. Anyway, you want to, like I said, definitely have that practice. Get that down to a real proficient, uniform thing, to where basically it doesn't feel like anything out of the normal for you. If you can get that under wraps, because the best case scenario is you have 3 minutes when one of those sirens go off, when they've actually sighted a tornado, the rotation, it's there, it's upon you. The best warnings are only about 3 minutes. So you have 3 minutes to get yourself into a safe haven. Get there. And help somebody else get there. Don't just step over somebody who might have fell down in front of you. Be kind of nice to your fellow man. And be considerate of other people trying to get into the same place.
Yeah.
Don't run over the elderly like we've seen that happen too here recently. I thought that was pretty crappy of the younger generation, who were pretty much pushing their way over, and grandma and grandpa's that was trying to get into these locations. Hey guys, if you're watching, don't do that. Help your elder up. Get them into shelter too. Now, they might have lived a long life, but they still have life to live. Help them out, okay? Also, like I said, if you guys were to get separated, have I think I said that though. Have you a designated place to meet, and always have that. What else do we need to tell them about? There was something else. And I totally just had a senior moment.
It's been a long night.
Been a long night. With those storms, I said, we actually just got back into Ohio. Yeah, that's where I was going to go with that. We had just got back to Ohio. We'd got set up. And as soon as we got the awning and everything out, okay, here comes the wind. Here comes the rain. No, I wasn't thinking much of it. Put the awning back up. It was about 10 o'clock. We went ahead and went to bed. Say 10:30, 10:45. The tornado sirens were blaring. It was time to go.
Yeah. If you're a heavy sleeper, which lately I have been, I didn't even hear it. Luckily, Tony heard it. So hopefully well, at least hopefully one of you will hear it.
Yeah. That's the other thing is...
They did go knock on doors, so if you are...
But that's not always going to be the case.
If you're at a campground, and you've got... I don't know. I guess it just depends on if you want to take the time to knock or to make sure that the people next to you are up and moving. We looked out the window and everybody was moving, so... I mean, I guess that's... on you. I don't know. Whatever you feel comfortable with, but... Exactly.
Only do what you're comfortable with doing. But like I said, keep yourself safe. It's all safe. I understand. Just be safe about what you're doing. And be watchful of other people trying to get to the same place. Like I said, there's some people that didn't practice that evacuation plan. And they could have, if the tornado would have actually hit right here where we were at, it could have caused a bad situation because they had us blocked in. Because they had the whole entire road blocked with 3 vehicles. Why these people thought they needed to take 3 vehicles for 4 people from the same campsite. These are all the same people in this campsite. They needed to take all 3 vehicles to take 4 persons to this tornado shelter, but nobody knew where they were going, so they just pretty much had the road blocked. And when it's dark, pitch black, and it's raining that hard and things are flooded, you don't know where you want to go through, and you really don't want to drive through standing water because you don't know how deep it is. So a little polite convincing of tooting the horn and, you know, kind of giving them a push to get them out of your way. You know, but the main thing is just really practice an evacuation plan. Have a good evacuation plan in order. Have, you know, fresh water, fresh, you know, things that will sustain you for a few days on end in case, you know, worst case scenario happens that nobody can get back to their camper. The camper, forget the camper. When those sirens go off, have your loved ones, your fur babies, have your bug out bag, get to shelter. RV, motorhome, vehicle, who cares? It's material things. Insurance will take care of it. Well, you hope they will. We are living in this society where insurance companies won't give you half what your stuff's worth, but things can be replaced. Just trying to be silly here, but things can be replaced. Don't risk your life for an RV. Just get out, get yourself safe, have the evacuation plan in place, have food and water, because those things may not be available to you. And if you can spare it, pack a little extra, because your neighbor might not have thought of these things.
Yeah, and we're talking about a tornado because that's what we just went through. But if you're in a hurricane area, you know, hurricanes, fires, you know, any kind of major disaster type issues, you know, be prepared. You know, take stock of where you are, how to get in, how to get out, you know, people with you, all that. You know, just don't go in and think it's just going to be fun. You always need to have a plan.
Practice safety.
Yeah.
We just become the safety Nazis?
We did.
But yeah, I mean, just the bug out bag's not only good for tornadoes, like she said. And, you know, let's let you guys know that, you know, that, I'm sure a lot of you know this. I feel like I'm making this dumb down or something here. But, you know, that's something that, like she said, wildfires, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods. I mean, these things can just happen. Mother Nature is kind of a bipolar person here the last few years. Anybody's been here stateside knows you don't know what season you're getting when you're walking out of that door. So anyway, guys, we hope this helped to explain to you guys the validation of why you should really have a bug out bag, have an escape plan, is just to get out and make sure that you survive. Live to tell your story. This is why you RV anyway, right? You're trying to live an adventure. It can be an adventure. Don't go chasing the tornadoes, trying to take pictures of it when it's trying to get you.
Unless that's what you like to do.
Yeah, don't do like I do. However, when we ran off, we did not have enough battery life on our particular cell phones. That's why we were thinking of considering an extra phone that's always charged by the bug out bag or in the bug out bag. So we didn't get a chance to film any of that. And like I said, the weather was bad. And a lot of people, there was some elderly people who fell down. We'd help to get them inside, things like that. Recording that and showing you guys what it's like, that was the last thing on our mind. But until next time, guys, be safe out there. Practice. An evacuation plan to get yourself out of an RV. If you are driving, I forgot, that's the one I was on. If you're driving down the road in your RV and you see it blatantly coming across the road, don't run at it. Turn around and go the other way. Pretty simple. Go seek shelter, because it will pick this thing up and toss it like a rag doll. Until next time, guys. This time for real. We'll see you. Bye.